Hello, Facebook. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, once again, I'm really happy to be back in the district and reminded why I live here instead of elsewhere. I am lucky enough to be here all day today, so I'm starting to, today is a day of actually fewer meetings, so one of the things I'm doing is catching up on email, and I want to make a note that during the session, I work really hard to try to be responsive to email, but I know that I don't get to all of them. And so I've been discovering as I've been cleaning out my email box, there are a few that dropped through the cracks as far back as May. And my apologies to that, because it's very important to me to try to answer as many as possible. So in the event that you did send me something or ask me a question that I didn't respond to earlier, and please send it to me again, because I really would like to try to answer questions and to deal with the situations that are happening for you. So thanks to all of you who reach out, and thanks for your patience if I happen to drop you, because I'm trying hard not to do that. I am also in the process of scheduling a bunch of various kinds of meetings in various kinds of towns. Sometimes they're issue focused. It depends on the request of people in the particular town, but I'm sort of kicking off that process with an end of session wrap up in Salisbury at Salisbury Town Hall on June 29th at 10 o'clock. So I hope lots of you can join me there. I look forward to having a great discussion and summarizing. I've been trying to send out various kinds of summaries on what's happened, some budget focused, some focused on the things that passed. But there are, as the dust settles on the session and there's more information coming out, and we have some bond issues coming up, and we will have probably some special sessions this summer. So there'll be some future things that we'll be talking about then. So I look forward to hopefully seeing as many of you as possible in Salisbury on Saturday the 29th at 10 o'clock. Another thing that I have been hearing from a lot of people about are bears. I think it is the time of year when we really do start to feel their presence, and we do have bears, and quite a few of them in our area. So I have asked those of you who have called me, if you don't mind, sending me an email at maria.horn@cga.ct.gov with your experience, any interaction you've had with bears, what, if anything, your town has been doing about that, if there's been any townwide efforts to address it in terms of garbage cleanup, whatever's happening in your town to deal with the situation, and what, if any, interactions you may have had with the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, or DEEP, about those bear interactions would be really helpful to me, because I'm going to try to put together some just collection of stories from our region and what we're really dealing with. I voted for two different bear management bills in the Environment Committee, but I was disappointed that neither one of them made it any further. So I think there's more work to do there, and I do appreciate hearing from you on that issue on many sides. As you all know, people feel strongly about that. We do live in a part of the state that has a lot of wildlife, and for most of us that's a feature, not a bug, but we do have to be honest about what that means for our families living in these remote areas, and so I want to hear all those stories. So thank you for reaching out, and I hope I hear some more. Another exciting issue that I've mentioned before is a project that has been long in the making to bring a health clinic to North Canaan, to provide primary health care and behavioral health and ultimately dental services to North Canaan. As a community where there's been a lot of study and of a lot of need. Honestly, there's a shortage of primary care in the entire region, and it's a real issue. And there has been the shortage of resources for behavioral health has also been well documented. And so I really applaud the efforts of a number of nonprofits that have been working on this, both in terms of the management of the facility and that's my son coming in the room. Hi, Max. You want to say hi to people on Facebook?
Hey, Facebook people.
Sorry, that have been working on bringing this facility to Canaan, and they have been actively looking for a place to rent space, and they looked at one space initially, which turned out to be too small, but they are very keen to work with all members of the community, because everybody understands, or many people have understood the need for many, many years. But they need a space of certain size, and they need to make sure it's adequate parking and that works for the community. so that we can make this a win-win for everybody. But I look forward to having more specific meetings in North Canaan as this process starts to come together. But I've had a lot of great conversations with local officials, with the organization Community Health and Wellness in Torrington, which is managing the facility, which is an award-winning, high-quality provider of community health care regardless of ability to pay. And I have enjoyed my working with them and look forward to having more meetings about that in the future. Quick other events, it's farmers market season, so I get to consider it part of my job to drop in on farmers markets on weekends. I think that's a complete excuse for going to farmers markets, but it's quite fun. This Saturday we have the Great Country Mutt Show. I'm the proud owner of a mutt in Cornwall Town Green, so I'm hoping to bring her by and get her the accolades that I know she's totally deserving of. I'm hoping there will be a category for most spots, but who knows. There's also a fundraiser for the Kent Library on Saturday I'm excited about, and I also wanted to highlight a really cool event that people were talking about, a bike tour. It's a Discover Connecticut bicycle tour that's been organized through some local residents, and they have on Sunday organized. There are 4 different routes, from I think 13-mile route to a 48-mile route, if I'm right about that. Yep. So there's routes for all levels of riders, and it really does give a great. They all start in Falls Village Center on Sunday, and there's music and food and incredible scenery of the northwest corner. And I know they have, I think, maybe 60 riders or so signed up for that already. But if you have any inclination to hop on a bike on Sunday and tour the northwest corner, I hope you do that, because this looks really fun. So I'll post this on the newsletter, but you can sign up for that by going to bikewalkct.org. And the proceeds from this benefit the Connecticut segment of the Western New England Greenway and some other causes. So it's, in addition to being a really fabulous thing to do on a Sunday afternoon, it does great work. So if you got a bike, go biking on Sunday. And then I wanted to, finally, it's graduation season. I've had, as I've mentioned before, 2 of my kids graduated this year, so I got to start on that. But I want to extend my congratulations again to all of the many graduates. I got to go to Oliver Wolcott Tech's graduation last night, which was super fun. First of all, it's in the beautiful Warner Theater, which hosts many regional graduations, and is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place to be. But the Wolcott Tech graduation is particularly fun for a lot of reasons. Among them, I have to say they had the best graduation caps so far. If you take a look at the handiwork of these crafty students on their the messaging and the decor of their caps, it's pretty impressive. So that was really fun. But I want to congratulate all the high schools and all the elementary schools in our region on that rite of passage. It's a pretty exciting time of year. Next week, I have a busy week of meetings both in and out of Hartford, so I'll talk about most of them once I've done them, but I wanted to highlight one in particular. There is on Thursday, I should look it up on my calendar as we're sitting here, there is a meeting regarding Sharon Hospital, and this is a new, it's the Office of Health Strategy is coming to Sharon on Thursday, as I do this in real time, at 4 p.m. at Sharon Town Hall on Thursday, June 27th. And this is a kind of a new thing. It comes out of the process that we were part of creating with the situation with Sharon Hospital and their earlier merger with HealthQuest, and now the proposed merger between HealthQuest and Western Connecticut to form a new organization called Nuvance. That all involves the state, and we, I think, in the community made really good use of getting the state to help us increase the level of community engagement between the hospital and all of us in the community and the needs of the community. And so this is a new process that the Office of Health Strategy is starting, which is coming to the community and talking about the process. And in particular, so it's often described as a CON meeting, which CON stands for Certificate of Need. And I know this is hopeless jargon, more jargon from the state, but it has to do with when healthcare institutions apply for the state for permission to do things like merge. they have to file a certificate of need, and in those certificates of need, they make specific promises to the community. And we found in the midst of in dealing with challenges with Sharon Hospital and the ongoing provision of services like maternity, that there were promises made, but sometimes those promises weren't very enforceable. And I do believe that OHS is now helping us make those promises more enforceable and giving us putting more teeth in the agreements between the state and the entities involved, and giving us in the community a greater role. So I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for us to understand how that process works. And so if you can, please come to that meeting in Sharon Town Hall on Thursday the 27th at 4 p.m. And that's it for today. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.